we've only been studying humans for a couple hundred years in a sort of meaningful way. And when we started doing that, humans were in every continent except for Antarctica, and they had different diets even within continents. The diet in Egypt is very different than the diet here in South Africa, right? So the assumption is that's natural. That's how humans should be, or something like that. But the question that is unanswered is, how can that be the case when we know that every other species on the planet has a species-specific, species-appropriate diet? Once you understand that this contradiction exists, then we can begin to understand a counter-view that no, there is a species-specific diet. And if that's the case, A, what would that diet be? I think that's a pretty easy question to answer. But B, why is it the case that different people seem to do better on different diets for short periods of time? These are questions that need to be explored and drawn out. And in my practice, we find that there's far less variation than people think. But for someone who's coming at this with a very, very strong vegetarian bias, that is probably the only conclusion you can make, that there are actually different diets for different genotypes, which in my opinion is completely ludicrous.